I'm here in the majestic West Highlands of Scotland on the shores of Loch Fyne at the extraordinary Inverara Castle, the seat of Clan Campbell and the home to the Dukes of Argyll. In fact, the Duke and his family still live here today. I'll be exploring the history, chatting with the family, and diving into those archives. When I married into the British aristocracy, it was the start of a wonderfully exciting journey. But it was also a little daunting. I became a Viscountess, and for an American girl from a small town outside Chicago, that was quite a shock. I live with my husband Luke, heir to the Earl of Sandwich, and our family at Mapperton House in Dorset. Living in a place like this is a joy, but also a challenge. And every day we're aware that we're preserving a very special part of Britain's heritage. Mapperton has opened up an extraordinary new world for me, and I can't wait to share it with you all. So if you love castles and manors and stately homes as much as I do, please join this American Viscountess as I journey into the British countryside in search of some of Britain's finest historic houses. The beauty of Inverara is mesmerizing. The castle was rebuilt in the mid-18th century and is the epitome of a fairy tale castle with its turrets and crenellations. It is so great to be back and spend time with Torquil and Eleanor, the Duke and Duchess of Argyll. Hello.
Hi, Judy.
I'm running to greet you.
Lovely to see you.
So nice.
Welcome.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
I know. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, it's lovely to have you.
Again.
5 years later.
The last time I was here, the sun shone as well. So, you know,
It
does it
always shines.
really rain here? I don't think
Never.
so.
Well, it wouldn't be so green if it didn't. But it's just...
No, it's a good day. Welcome.
Yeah, no,
Hey, come on
I'm
in.
so pleased to be here. Gosh. And I remember this kitchen. I remember it all so well. You know, this is a real destination for Americans like me, let's be honest, because how many Campbells are there in America?
Well, in America, I mean, I couldn't say in America alone, but I mean, globally, we are about 14 million.
14
14
million.
million, yeah.
I mean, that is unbelievable.
And that's probably an underestimate.
Do you have a lot of people coming wanting to find out more about their own heritage?
Our business is really
lot of
international. It's not so British anymore.
Yeah.
It's always been a bit British and a lot international, but I would say it's way more international now.
And are you both recognized? I have to ask that. You know, when you go out, because it's Clan Campbell, you know, you are the head of the clan, you know, you're the Duke and Duchess of Argyll. You've been running this for how many years have you been the custodians
So we
here?
inherited
23 years.
I mean, that's a good tenure.
So Torquil's father died unexpectedly just as we were getting engaged. No. So we were meant to be going to go and live in Hong Kong with his job, and then actually the world turned upside down. So we took on here straight away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was, well, we got married in 2002, but my father died in 2001.
Oh my goodness.
So the first thing we did as a married couple, we got married in a church in Gloucestershire. The second ring went on, we got in the car to drive to the reception, and we signed off the guidebook which we'd been working on while we were engaged, but he was too scared to say yes to have many thousands, just in case I changed my mind at the altar.
Just in case the photograph on the front page is like, you know.
And in those days, they weren't so much digital copies, were they? So you had to order thousands and thousands.
course,
I can't remember how many thousands we ordered.
But also, the guidebooks are the biggest sellers.
Yes,
we know this from the shop.
So the first thing we did, I thought, no, this is the beginning of the rest of my life, isn't it? We got in the car and he was like, right, now we can sign off the guidebook. Really?
No.
That's true love.
That is
Well,
brilliant.
you know, you've got to look after the pennies.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Come on in.
Ooh, I didn't see this the last time. I'm in the private drawing room, is that right?
The private, the yellow drawing room.
Yellow drawing room.
Okay, couple of questions. Wow.
That's me when I was 18. So my father had me painted by Howard Morgan because he thought I was going to leave him and marry Torquil when I was 18, 19. And then when we finally got married 10 years later, he was so happy that I think he just gave me the picture.
But he did insist that's exactly where it should hang. And if we didn't want to hang it there, he wasn't going to give it to us.
But your outfit's fantastic.
It's amazing.
As well.
It's a red silk skirt with embroidery all over it. It's stunning, Chinese silk.
You still got it?
I've still got it. I don't think it fits anymore. So.
Okay, so
$3.20.
can I grab a spot there then?
Yes,
Oh.
on Torquil's mother's tapestry stool.
It's quite beautiful.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's
So
amazing.
Torquil's mother was a fantastic tatist, I don't know what the word is. So we had a really bad fire in the 70s.
Yeah, so tell me
And then
about
after
that.
that, there was really no money to spend anywhere. So she was amazing at getting hold of the tapestries and actually fixing them herself.
Incredible. So tell me a little bit about that fire, because that sort of made international news when that happened.
Yeah, it was a big one. So it was the 5th of November, 1975.
5th of November.
Yeah.
Which to a British person is a big day.
Is a
for
big
bonfires.
date.
Guy
Bonfire,
Fawkes,
right.
yeah. Guy Fawkes
And it
night.
happened 5th of November.
It started probably at sort of 4, 5 o'clock, and it was an electrical fault in a cupboard upstairs. And it went up a void where all the fire hydrants, the fire hoses go up, and
Right.
ended up on the top floor of the castle, and burnt the top floor. But the real damage was the fire, but the real damage was the water they put on top of it to put it out, which then came down through all the ceilings, and
Oh my gosh.
so it was a big event, and you know the town turned up to help take the things out.
Because it was somebody staying in the castle at the time?
Yeah, so it was my mother and myself.
Oh,
And you were 5?
I was seven.
Seven, okay.
so you remember this?
No, I
quite-
do, yeah, very much so. I kind of sort of remember being sort of taken out of the house pretty quickly. There was a lot going on. My father was away on business, but I remember being at the town bonfire, and all the people were there. Instead of people looking at the bonfire and the fireworks display, they were looking at the castle, which was just fully ablaze.
Oh my gosh.
And it was pretty.
Yeah,
I mean,
that is-
I don't remember the nitty gritty
Right,
bits
no,
and
no, of
pieces
course.
of it, but there were explosions going on in the castle, and everyone was watching that because it was dark in the evening, and,
Right.
and that was the biggest bonfire around.
But, wow.
But the town were amazing. So the town basically all ran up and people were chucking Gainsboroughs and tapestries and beautiful bits of furniture. People were so brave.
You see pictures of people walking out into the car park at the front with sort of pictures, books, furniture.
Right.
No, I mean they were amazing, and if it wasn't for all their help,
Right.
we would have lost a lot more.
Yeah. No, of course.
Or a lot
of
more would
course.
have been very badly damaged.
Right. So that was the top floor, and then of course the water damage came through. So then what was the restoration process? Like, when did that begin? So you had to move out of the castle?
So we moved out of the castle. I remember, straight after going to go and stay with my grandparents on Loch Lomond.
Right.
It's about an hour away from.
Yeah, so that was definitely for a period of months. I went to the local school there. Then we moved back into a cottage up one of the glens,
Okay.
and we were there for probably a year or so.
Right.
And then we actually moved back into the basement of the castle.
Oh my
And we lived in the basement for a couple of years. So
Yeah.
it took about 5 years to restore it.
Of course.
And it was a huge project.
What about archives? Were you, because where we are at Mapperton, we hold the archives in the main house, in the muniment room. Were the archives saved? Were they?
Yeah, they weren't. The archives, were all stored in the castle. They were all saved. Again, a lot of them were damaged.
Right.
And then after the fire, they moved up to some libraries that we had constructed on the top floor. And then my wife and I did sort of restoration stroke sort of install central heating program sort of 15 years ago.
Okay.
And then we moved the archives then from the top floor of the castle to a sort of purpose-built archive at the estate office, which they're now housed and looked after, temperature controlled, humidity controlled.
All of that.
You know, the things that should, the way they should be looked after.
Yeah. That's wonderful. So that's been a big project for you.
So that was a big project. Yeah.
But you've been here for 23 years. I can't believe it. You're so young. You've been here for 23 years.
So
23 years. And obviously you've done a lot. You've just mentioned one of sort of the big projects. But do you feel, you know, in your tenure so far, the 23 years that you've done, that you've been able to really put a mark on this place? And you just mentioned one of them, which I'm going to go visit.
You know, you talk to people and you know, do you run the place like your father did? And the answer is no.
Right.
Because what was relevant, you know, he did a very good job, but what was relevant to him is not relevant to me. And what is relevant to me is not relevant to my son.
Yeah.
But just in the time that we've been here, you know, what was relevant 20 years ago is not necessarily relevant today. You know, we are constantly changing.
Yeah.
The way that we do things.
Yes, exactly. I wanted to ask, because I've read that the castle opened up to the public in 1953, and that was quite extraordinary and one of the first, is that right? Very early on. But it was after the Second World War. They're all, you know, many of these homeowners were thinking, what do we do? Because taxes that were levied on them, they arrived back in houses after they were requisitioned for the war. They weren't in a great state. And you must have been one of the first houses to open up, is that right? And how did that come about?
You're right, we opened up in 1953, same year as the coronation.
Yes, of course.
And you know, Inverara, you know, you're talking about the war and the effects of the war, and Inverara was a really, really important part for the Second World War because we did the trainings for the Normandy landings. D-Day landings all happened here.
So 200,000 people.
250,000 troops were trained here.
Oh my goodness.
So they reckon like sort of 90% of the people that ended up in the beaches in Normandy had spent probably 2 weeks training here before they went. So that, you know, the whole place was, you know, was a war camp. It played a huge, huge part. And, you know, my grandfather was, you know, obviously desperate to, you know, get the estate back up on its feet.
Yeah.
And find some way of looking after it, caring for it. And he, you know, he was the one that opened the doors to.
Right, and his name was?
And he was Ian.
Ian.
Big Ian. Torkel's father was
Little Ian.
Little Ian. Campbell's have a narrow amount of names that they choose.
Well, I mean, I have a different one, so.
Right. So luckily you're not Ian, because then it would have gotten
well,
really
I know,
confusing.
I'm Torquil Ian. I'm Torquil Ian.
So Ian opened it up, and he reminds me, because I've gone through a little bit of my archives at Mapperton, and we are related-ish through that Ian, the one who opened up in 1953. Can I explain how?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Through my research, I'm researching my husband's great-grandmother, Alberta Sturgis Montague, who was an American like me, from Chicago like me, came over during that Gilded Age period when Consuelo Vanderbilt came over as well. She married into the Montague family, eventually became the 9th Countess of Sandwich. And interestingly enough, she had 4 children. Her second son was named Drogo, which is our big Montague name. Her second son married, for the second time, Janet Aikens.
Who was Torkel's grandfather's first wife.
First
So he was
wife.
married
There we go.
4 times, but the first wife was Janet.
There we go. So Ian's first wife, Janet, they divorced, and she married Alberta, my husband's great-grandmother, the 9th Countess of Sandwich, her second son. So can we say that?
Well, exactly. I mean,
So Torkel's aunt, did they have children? Yes.
Yes, they had one.
They had one. And Torkel's aunt, Jeannie,
Yes,
so they would have been halves.
they would have been half.
halves, yeah.
Yeah. I'm always trying to find connections with the other historic houses that I visit to see if there is one. And there was that connection, so I thought there must be letters. But I thought this would be really interesting for the both of you. So this is on Inverara Castle, Argyll, letterhead.
I have the same writing paper now, almost identical.
Do you?
Yeah. It's now got a telephone number on it, but
So
yeah.
it has a telephone.
The writing, the writing
But
is
no
still
one
the
uses
same.
a landline, but it still has a telephone
In the
number.
modern world. Not an email address.
I'll do that next time. Next time I read you the writing paper.
Exactly. So she's written this. She's visiting. She's staying here at Inverara on October 7th, 1920. And she's writing it to her husband, George. So George isn't here. And she basically says, darling, this is to keep you in touch. And so a little bit of sort of pleasantries at the beginning. And then she says, the young heir, age 16, Ian Campbell, whose American mother, a Miss Lawrence, died 6 months ago, is the best type of English American I know. Speaking of Ian. And she says, a perfect dear. Oh, I hope Hinch was her firstborn son, they called him Hinch, but Victor, turns out like him, such a darling, so companionable. And he has only been here 3 months, and every man, woman, and child about here just adores him. This is your great-grandfather. So I thought that was really interesting. And then she goes on and she says, I love the relationship between the townspeople and the Campbells. So very nice. And then she signs off. So I just thought that was...
So that's your grandfather when he was...
That's your grandfather,
That
sorry.
was my grandfather.
Grandfather Ian, when he was 16.
Yeah.
And then he
had an American mother.
He had an American mother. I don't think I knew that. Right. And then his third wife had grown up in America.
Yep, Margaret Wigham.
The scandalous one.
The scandalous. What was filmed here? I watched that.
A British scandal.
Very British scandal.
So I loved it.
It was really
good.
good.
His family, I thought, ooh.
I know, but I loved it.
It was very well done,
was
wasn't it?
So well
Claire
done.
Foy and Paul Bettany. It was brilliant.
I mean, the two perfect actors for that. I mean, they cast them perfectly.
But that's the same Ian you're talking about. So that's Ian, age 16.
Yes.
But he, poor guy, then goes into the war as a prisoner of war, and he's an alcoholic. So I think, poor man, he comes out a very damaged man after the war, and that's the Ian in A Very British Scandal, as opposed to the charming young man who's 16. Yeah.
So Margaret was his number what wife then?
Third wife.
Third. Okay. Oh my goodness. So was she here then? So he met her after the Second World War. Was she here when the house was opened to the public in 53?
She was the driving force, I think, behind it.
Right.
And she did a lot to help restore the castle. Put a lot of money into it.
Right.
And brought it back up to a livable standard. It was something that she wanted to live in.
Right.
She puts in bathrooms and plumbing and fixes holes, and she's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, she was. I think she, obviously, it was quite a scandalous marriage.
Yeah.
Not good for the family, but
she had a very positive impact.
Right.
On things here. So. She certainly left her mark behind.
Yeah, I mean, we're still talking about her today, and then they've just created that film. And and same with your grandfather, Ian. I mean, he's in letters here. He's, married 4 times, had an American mother, was charming when he was 16, according to Alberta.
And I think he was charming as well later on, but I think he was very damaged. And I think they were a toxic combination, Margaret Argyle and him.
Right.
I think they'd married for all the wrong reasons. He wanted the money, she wanted a title. He was very damaged from the war. I think she'd obviously quite damaged from falling down that lift shaft.
Yes.
And they were just this toxic
relationship.
Combination.
I mean, he'd spent the whole of the Second World War in a prisoner of war camp.
So he came out weighing 6 stone or something.
Right, psychologically, of course that's going to have its effects on you, absolutely. Well, what I have here, and I'm sure you have lots of letters written by Ian himself, but I have another letter that was in our archives, written by Ian to Alberta, the 9th Countess of Sandwich, and this again is shortly after her visit here. He writes, in case you and George, Alberta's husband, will be sufficiently benevolent as to give us an offering towards our bells, I am venturing to send you a list of our peal of 10 bells, from which you will see that no less than 8 of them have already been given, and so it is for the 2 large bells that we are gradually collecting. And then he carries on and says that my bell founders tell me that it will be the finest peal in Scotland when installed. He writes, our northern country is very deficient in peals of any kind, and there is nothing more lasting than bell metal, as 1,000 years is nothing in its life. And I thought that was really interesting. And then he goes on to say that they will bear the name and be dedicated to one of the old Celtic saints who in the 6th, 7th, and 8th centuries were the apostles of this ancient diocese. And someday, anyway, you shall hear them sounding all over the loch.
And you do.
They're here.
So they ring a lot.
Yeah, no,
they ring a lot. It's stunning.
This is back in the 1920s.
Yeah.
And I think they started building it in 1921.
Incredible.
And it took about 10 years to build, because they built the tower as well.
Can I visit these bells
You can,
on this
yeah.
tour of
Yeah,
Edinburgh?
well,
that
I
I'm
hope so.
Embarking on. I mean, how fascinating, though, that I've been able
That's amazing.
to find these letters. I feel a little bit a sense of a connection here, which is wonderful.
Well, I
myself.
mean, you put
Yeah.
you put the what's in your letters to actually see what he's talking about is remarkable.
To see Edinburgh gleaming across the loch today, it's hard to imagine that devastating night in November 1975, when flames ripped through the upper levels of the castle so savagely, it seemed all was lost. But with the will and determination of the family and community, the castle was saved.
So go back to 5th of November 1975, and
Oh my goodness.
and
So what happened exactly? I
These-
mean, this is remnants from the fire,
that's
isn't
fine.
it?
That's fine. This is all fire damage. Wow. So these are water hydrants that come from a loch up on one of the hills,
Okay,
and this is pressurized from the ground floor to the top floor.
okay.
And the fire started in my mother's clothes wardrobe, walk-in wardrobe,
Behind here.
behind there, and then went up this void and took out the top floor of the castle. So yeah, so all that scorching and soot is
From it.
from the fire.
Incredible.
You know, if it's not broken,
Yeah, no.
make it work.
Exactly. No, and it tells a story.
It does,
I mean,
very
that's
much
what's
so.
so brilliant. I can come in here and see this, and you can tell
So
me
exactly.
the story.
So the void, it's just the height where the hydrant. It's all the heat and the smoke
Yeah.
up there.
Oh
and-
yeah.
and-
Oh yeah. I
and
can see it. Wow. Oh my
Set fire
goodness.
to the roof.
So it just went whoosh.
Just went whoosh.
But what started the fire?
Electrical fault.
Electric fault.
Old
Right.
Old wiring.
Old wiring. Right. Usually is the case.
So anyway, so we'll head up to the attic. Anyway, so come in here. This takes us up to the top floor of the castle.
Wow. Okay, so can I ask, this staircase, this would have been used for who?
These are the old servant staircases, and they start
What?
on the basement of the castle, and there's a door on each floor.
No.
So you could obviously appear with whatever you needed at the time, or so you wouldn't have to use the main staircases and stuff like that, and be with the guests or
Right.
the then Duke. So you just disappear up these spiral staircases all the way up to the top.
All the way up to the top.
In 1953, when the castle was opened,
Right.
my grandmother and step-grandmother had about 50 staff living in the castle. And they were all living on this floor. So actually the whole of the top floor was bedrooms, staff quarters.
Staff, 50
And they
staff.
would use these stairs. And then, in the fire, there was obviously lots of damaged stuff, and we didn't know what to do with it,
No.
where to put it. So, it just sits in these rooms under wraps. Someday somebody will want something, will look for something.
Incredible. Okay, so tell me a little bit more. We've just looked where the fire started, really from your mother's closet
Yeah.
because of an electrical fault. It came through and then
And
went
straight up, went all the way around the whole of the top floor of the castle.
And this is where bedrooms were.
And this was
This
all staff
staff
bedrooms. And then, you've seen, you saw the same situation with Notre Dame in Paris.
Yes.
When they want to go and repair old buildings like this, there is a shortage of what you'd call seasoned oak
Right.
to make
Yes.
the beams and stuff to hold these big houses up. So actually, because there was none at the time, my father put in a steel roof.
Okay.
So actually, fingers crossed, it's done a very good job. It's going to be here for a long time. We
Yeah.
don't have the same problems that we'd have, had we got a wooden roof.
Exactly. And as the fire destroyed, obviously, the bedrooms that were up here, of course, we don't have 50 staff anymore living here at all. It's just our families. But you just use this as storage.
So we
it's
use it as
perfect.
storage.
Yeah, which
we
is
use it
great.
as storage. This was jam-packed full of stuff, during COVID. And my wife got up here and we carted all, a lot of the rubbish out and sorted lots of stuff out.
Oh my gosh.
But the archives are slowly being taken away bit by
Yeah.
bit to be taken over to the office so they can go through them.
No. This is
But
incredible.
if you can't find something, or there's a bit of something missing, you tend to look up in these rooms and
these
you'll
rooms.
find, you know,
But look at this screen.
but, you know, that's all, you know,
That's
all,
from the fire.
all fire damaged.
Look at that.
Um,
And it's
but, you know, bits of chairs that are
Yes.
part of them are burnt, and then, you know, you can suddenly find another chair, and you can restore it by putting the two together. Lots of
incredible.
brown
This is
furniture,
lots of
spare
brown furniture.
drawers.
Let's go. We like brown furniture. We just have too much of it, I think.
You know, old picture frames.
Look
you know,
at
it's like,
this.
you know, one day,
Gilt.
you know, maybe
You-
when
yeah,
maybe
exactly.
when I'm painted, I want a big picture
Are
frame.
you not painted
I
yet?
haven't been done yet. No.
It's okay. I'm in the same boat. I haven't been painted either.
But then, you know, there's so much of this sort of furniture that, you know, a lot of it was custom made for the castle, but it just, you know, it doesn't work anymore.
Well, and also, do you think the difference is because the castle is really open up to the public, you've got to be careful on how you curate kind of what goes in each
Do you
room?
know, pre 1975, we would have been able to have a rotation of pictures and furniture.
Right,
Post 1975, what you see is what we've got.
right.
So this
Yeah.
would, a lot of storage would have been up here.
Yeah, yeah.
But of course, it is no longer. So
Yeah.
I'm going to take you upstairs to the roof.
Okay, here we go. Wow.
Then just watch your feet as you
Yeah.
come out.
Yep.
give you a hand.
Be careful of that. Thank you, thank you, thank
All
you.
right.
Perfect. Okay,
Hey, so
excellent.
welcome to the roof.
And the turret's there.
So during
Turrets there.
during the restoration of the castle, my father had he had an exhibition of the fire downstairs.
Right.
And you could buy slates. So a lot of the slates actually have been signed by people who donated £5, £10 for a slate.
That is clever. That's amazing. In order to help to
And in order to help
fund
raise
it.
raise the money for the restoration.
Wonderful. That is a very clever
And then,
idea.
you know, you're at the top of the armory hall here.
Can I walk on
which
this
is-
lead?
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
lead roof,
yeah.
yes.
So
Yes.
the coat of arms up there is what you see from downstairs, and that's 21 meters off the ground.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Uh,
and I can
then-
see the
and then-
visitors
and then
coming
if
in.
you stand up here, you can see.
Yep, all the visitors.
So one of
Amazing,
my
it's amazing.
favourite games with my sister and friends when we were children, is we'd put one of us either side, and then we'd be banging on the window, so people would look out, and then we'd go, oh, just sort of fall backwards. And you think, oh my God, somebody's fallen off the roof.
Jorgo, that is so brilliant. On our way back down from the roof, we found some more family treasures.
Things that we can't store in the rooms get stuck in the corridors, but
Right.
my wife was always asking for new cupboards to be put out so she can store things.
Look at
You know,
this.
there you go. And you've probably seen old proper prams, but
Wow. Look at
that-
it. It has your.
that was so. When I was born, I was the Earl of Campbell.
I see.
So that's an Earl's coronet and a C for Campbell.
Yes, I did spot the Earl's coronet. I knew that with the because you can see facing the
So,
five
yeah,
bubbles.
that would have been me going for walks with my nanny
Wow.
around Hyde Park or whatever it was.
Did any of your boys or girl go in here?
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
No, they've all used it.
They've all used it.
You know,
Fantastic.
we had all the leather work was done, so it's nicely, you know. You have to get a carriage maker to do it,
Yeah,
don't you?
yeah,
kind of-
it's beautiful. So these are the cupboards that Eleanor just. Yeah, I get this. This is a good idea.
She always wants things. So there you go. You've got a bit of. You've got sort of.
Got Santa.
Father Christmas outfits.
Yep.
You've got.
You've got your kilts or a kilt.
Okay, look, there you go. She'll kill me for this. But there's the skirt from her portrait.
From portrait. No, it's so beautiful. Oh my goodness.
She'll kill me for that one.
No, and it's in such great condition. That's so exciting.
You run out of storage space, and you just go and
You
find
do.
another cupboard.
And I know that I think probably for a lot of people thinking, well, how can they run out of storage space if they're in this sort of castle? But I get it. It's because we open up so many rooms to the public.
And you can't. Everything's got to be in the right place in the right room, and you can't have the wrong things.
Exactly. So that's clever.
Whereas
I might get a couple of these and stick them in a corridor.
Well,
and not
so
pretend.
I put that one out the other day because she needed some more space, but it's missing the top. But,
Right.
It's still a cupboard.
It's still a cupboard. It works just fine. It's brilliant. That is so good. The archives at Inverara are now held in a purpose-built temperature-controlled location away from the castle itself. I couldn't wait to meet archivist Alison Diamond again to hear more about how the archives were saved from the fire. Hello.
Hi, nice to see you.
Nice to see you again. This is my dream space. Alison, I mean, the last time I saw you was, again, about 5 years ago, and we were looking through some archives here as well, but it's all coming back to me about what a brilliant space this is.
It is, it's fabulous. So this was all originally in the castle.
Up at the top, is that right? They were stored.
They were in the basement originally,
Right.
which is actually what saved them, because when the fire came, it was the roof that went.
Yes.
So it was, you know, if the archive had been in the roof, they would have gone too.
Yes,
but luckily,
yes.
they were down in the vaults.
Okay.
So we do have some pictures
Do you?
to have a look. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And this is the archives having been rescued. And I'm not quite sure where they are in this picture.
Okay.
It could be under the temporary roof, or that might be one of the estate buildings out at the Moatlands.
Okay. So they were able to, luckily they were in the basement, as you
Yeah.
said.
So some things got damaged by
Right,
water
water,
and
yeah.
smoke. In fact, some of them are still quite black if you look at them.
Oh
because
my goodness.
That is still there. But they did manage to rescue quite a lot.
Right,
So
okay.
it is amazing how much we have given. given what's
Incredible,
happened.
but just
Yeah.
to see them all lying out, just waiting to be looked at to see what
Yeah.
the damage was. And oh my goodness, so this,
Yeah, so this is the fire while it's burning.
Oh.
So,
gosh, it gives you chills.
and these are some of the rescue photos.
And this looks like it's sort of in the wee mornings or late because
Yeah.
it's dark. So
They're actually probably, you know, the firemen will still be on site.
Right,
but
right.
they were just moving things out
Out.
as quickly as possible. And these are some of the items just sort of waiting to be rescued.
but also look at
the fire hoses.
the fire hoses right
Yeah.
there.
And here we've got sort of pictures coming out.
You've got the gilt frames, the
Yeah.
pictures, the sofas. Look at they're hoisting up a couple of the chairs, and again, middle of the night.
And obviously it carries on into the morning.
Into the morning. They're still carrying things out.
So these are all from that period, just after the fire, and I presume that they're numbered. So I presume these were evidence of damage and probably the start of drawing up the plans to work out.
I see.
How to rebuild.
So that's why they put such big numbers
Yeah.
on them.
So you would need to know, because obviously every sort of little window would probably look very similar, particularly when everything was burnt down around it.
Wow.
So
Oh my goodness. And I was just walking up across these attics with Torquil looking at, which is, you know, now it's used for storage. But this is a serious fire.
it is. There was not much roof left.
To see these photographs, it's amazing that so much was salvaged from the flames. Being here in this room, you just have so much archives, content everywhere. How do you sort of prioritize?
The main thing is to try and get it to a stage where it's all catalogued.
Okay,
So at the
yes.
moment we know what we've got and we know where to find it, but we can't share that with other people because it's all in different documents and spreadsheets and things like that.
Right, right.
So that's one side of what we're doing.
Yep.
The other side is we have lots of documents that have been damaged in the past. Sometimes it's just age, sometimes it's because they've been through a fire or they've got wet, or and we're trying to come up with ways to enable those to be conserved.
Right.
So that we can keep them for another few hundred years.
Yes, yes.
So we've got a new project that we call Adopt a Document, and what we do is we prioritise the individual documents that are most in need of conservation
Right.
treatment, and then we advertise those to friends and supporters, and we tell them how much it's going to cost for the conservator to actually deal with the document.
Right.
And then they give us the money towards that. So I can
Right.
show you.
Yeah.
I've got some of the documents.
Yes. This is going to be great because this might be something that I might adopt myself. We have lots of Earl of Sandwich documents that have been water damaged, paper has been torn, it has lots of fox spots on it. And I know you can't necessarily always get the fox spots out, but
Sadly.
you can't, but they need some conservation. Oh my goodness.
So this particular document, this was its original packaging. It was folded up in this envelope.
Okay.
And it's a discharge from 1413. So it's fairly historic.
Wow.
So it's gone to the conservator.
No.
He has. So he's flattened it out and he's built it its own little case. And like you said about the foxing, you can't remove every stain on it. You can't fill in the holes.
Right.
But you can put it in a position where it's going to be preserved for the future.
Oh my gosh. This is incredible.
Yeah.
This is everything I've ever wanted to know. I have so many of these. Not so many, but I mean a good handful.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I had no idea. I mean, I wasn't going to conserve them myself. That's beyond my expertise. With this, you've sent it out to a proper, somebody who has that skill.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
So that was one with a seal.
That is amazing.
That we did.
That is amazing.
But do you know what's really lovely is you send out these little bits of parchment that are folded up, dirty.
Yep, I have them.
Manky.
Yep.
And then they come back like this, and it's like, oh.
And what about like bigger ones? Are there bigger boxes
We can,
for that?
Yes, the boxes are made to the size. This is a flat one, so this one didn't need any depth for a seal because it doesn't have a seal.
Okay.
But again, it's got the little book plate. So this is actually the charter from King James that founded the borough of Inverera back in 1474.
Oh my goodness.
Again, it's still got lots of holes.
Right.
But at least somebody can look at it and read.
Exactly. Yeah. Because of course, what you're trying to do is you're trying to stabilize. Yeah. You're not trying to repair it.
No.
You're just looking to stabilize it so it can survive for the next several hundred years. That is exquisite. It's unbelievable. And then this person adopted.
So this is actually a company of solicitors in Edinburgh who have supported all of our adoption schemes so far, so that's brilliant.
What's really fascinating is that not only are these amazing documents being stabilized and then preserved for future generations, but it's involving the community, getting people involved and making them feel as if, and they are very much a part of this entire process. And that's wonderful. And that's what I hope to do with my volunteering project as well, that we've recently just won the National Archives Volunteering Award, and because it was this sort of using, in one sense, technology in order to reach women around the world who were interested in our American Heiress project but couldn't be here physically.
Yes.
We're able to digitize, send out, and it's really fostered amazing friendships and connections. And, they've even met each other, even though they're in sort of different parts of the world. They've planned to get together. They send me pictures of them having high tea at Brown's. and that's what I think archives, when I come in here and I see you kind of here looking at the archives themselves, you and the archives, it's much more than that, than a document. It involves community, it involves the Friends of Inverera. So it's a much bigger picture of fostering a connection back to this place.
It is. It's brilliant. And we have an amazing group of people who support the archive. It is fantastic.
Really incredible. What a treat to see this. I mean, wow. Thank you so much. Highlight of my day. Absolutely.
You're very welcome.
Inverera Castle was built during the mid-18th century, with the first designs laid out by the architect of the age, Sir John Vanbrugh. Inverera is the seat of the Chief of Clan Campbell and the home of the Dukes of Argyll. This is my second visit to the castle, and I'm so excited to explore the beautiful interiors again. So nice to be back. Okay, so is this the entrance hall? Is that what you call it?
This is the entrance hall. So this was the entrance hall, but it actually wasn't the originally designed entrance hall. So when the castle was built, the entrance hall would have been on that side of the castle. So you would have come up the avenue, as you can see,
yes,
and then arrived. But it took 40 years-ish to build the house, and then fashions had changed. So actually they'd moved the rooms around. So when you walk in this side, it's a very small, disappointing entrance hall. It isn't, but it is compared to to, I think, how they imagined the entrance hall was going to be
Right.
originally, how Vanbrugh would have imagined it.
How he
And
would
you'll
have
see
imagined.
there's a beautiful decoration on the wall just on the other side there that you should have seen if you'd come that way,
Oh my God.
and you don't see it because you come this way.
Yeah, but what I have spotted, which is even probably better than that decoration on the other side of the wall, is your family photo. Oh, it's such a brilliant photo. And I suspect when the public comes through here, that's probably the picture they go to the most, that they want to, they're eyeing it like I did. Because it keeps these houses alive, because it's the next generation, it's the stories continually being told.
Well, this house, it is a sort of museum, but it is a family home as
Yeah.
well, isn't it? So you will spot all of us milling around, and often there's there was a crisis the other day, and there was a call for children. So one, ran down to the shop to help, one ran to the tea room, one ran to the front door. There's always, because that's, they've grown up actually,
I know.
pulling their weight.
But I mean, if I'm downstairs in the shop or something, people will come and say, "Oh my God, you're the Duke! I saw you upstairs."
Okay, wow, this is, you kind of have no words for this room. Remind me what it's called again.
So this is the Armoury Hall. This is the centrepiece of the castle. It's the highest freestanding ceiling in Scotland at 21 metres. It houses part of the armoury collection for the castle, all last used at the Battle of Culloden in 1746.
Did you and Eleanor, did you both design this knowing that you're going to bring, visitors in here?
No, this has been way before us.
This-
This has been here since.
I've never seen a picture of the Armoury Hall that does not have this display in it.
That's what I was going to ask you.
It is.
So this was built to showcase
I would presume so.
the armor. And then I've looked all the way up, 21 meters, and I think I'm correct in saying that that's Torquil and Eleanor. Is that right?
That is Torquil and Eleanor, yes. So whoever actually pays for the house to get painted gets their initials put on the ceiling.
Tell me a little bit about Clan Campbell, because this was obviously used by Clan Campbell and the history around it.
So, the Campbell family is arguably one of the biggest Scottish clans, and we can trace our heritage back here to about sort of 1200.
Okay.
But I can actually go further back to the ancient High Kings of Ireland, and they were the centre or the capital of the kingdom of Dalriada, which was the Celtic kingdom.
Right.
It was just down the road here in a place called Kilmartin.
Okay.
And they moved the capital from the Hill o' Tara, which is just south of Dublin,
Right.
across the water to Argyll.
Oh
So
my
when I
goodness.
wear my evening kilt, the buttons are silver salmon. And that shows that I'm a descendant of the ancient High Kings of Ireland. So although you say
goodness.
Ireland, it's actually the Celtic kingdom.
The Celtic kingdom.
So it's not Ireland and Scotland, it's the Celtic kingdom.
So Clan Campbell established themselves. They are, at the top of the hill, the mountain. They've made it. And they've decided, your ancestors decided to build something to say, right, we're now in power.
Well, remember, so we're the biggest Protestant clan in Scotland. So remember, your British history, you've got Protestant, Catholic, Protestant,
Yes,
Catholic,
yes,
Protestant.
yes.
So we're the biggest Protestant clan. And then along come Queen Anne, and you've got William and Mary, and they want Scotland to be Protestant. So they come to us and say, okay, help. So we do, and we set up a regiment for them, and it's called the First Foot of Argyll, something like that.
And then,
Anyway, so we then help sort it all out. We don't do terribly, these days, honourable things to get to that position. But anyway, we are then thanked with a dukedom, which is why. And then he's so pleased to be made a duke, he says, well, I better not have this mouldy old castle that's falling down across the way.
Okay.
I'm going to build myself a palace. So he goes to Vanbrugh, who's Blenheim Palace, Castle Howard. Vanbragh's the big man.
That's right.
To build you a palace. And Vanbrugh actually draws a sketch of what the castle's going to look like. And then actually Vanbrugh dies, so then the architect gets changed. But they follow the original Vanbrugh picture of what the castle should be. So it's 3 central halls.
So this is 18th century.
This is 1701, he gets made a duke.
So right at the beginning
Right
of the
at the
18th century.
beginning, yes.
Okay.
when it was designed and when it was built for the family as a summer house. It wasn't.
No.
They lived in London.
Because by then, remember, because we're in the 1700s
Yeah.
now, so we're not living here all the time now, because now we're big in court.
Right.
So we're big in court down in London.
Right.
And so this is just our summer house.
To entertain.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you build a summer house in the middle of Argyll with a 21-metre high ceiling. It's totally impractical, but it's stunning.
It's so stunning. goodness. This is stunning.
This was going to be the entrance hall originally, and then because fashions had changed, it then became an entertaining room.
But now I understand what you were saying. If you were entering from this way,
Yeah.
you would see that lovely...
You see the lovely dome.
So in Downton Abbey, they used that as the front door. They've got all the staff lined up on the stairs there, and then the cars came up as the house was originally designed.
What year, roughly, was it then sort of changed from that being the main entrance, if you like, and this being sort of...
So it took
It's probably-
46-ish years to build the
Yeah,
house?
so it's going to be sort of 1780-ish,
Right.
1785.
Right, and then they decided, well, this is much better.
Yeah. So it was,
Entertain.
so it was before they actually moved into it.
Okay.
So it wasn't finished.
Right. Interesting that they then decided to do
Because we'd
that
gone through
switch.
4 dukes to get to...
Yeah, so who was the first duke to live?
So the first
Fifth.
duke wanted it, I think, and then the second duke planned it, and then
Yeah.
the fifth was the one who
One
moved in.
actually, he was that one that finished it and moved in.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He was the one that designed the town as well, the town of Inverara,
So beautiful, the town.
because that is the first planned new town in Scotland.
Okay.
So architecturally and historically very important. But the old town was based around the old castle and also in the gardens of our
Right.
present gardens.
Okay,
And when they built this, they wanted to
right.
put it in beautiful gardens. So they
Yeah,
built
yeah.
the new town and they moved everybody into it.
Who designed this room then? Because obviously we've moved, John, as you mentioned, John Vanbrugh originally sort of did some of the original designs. He dies. It doesn't, it's not until the fifth Duke moves here. But what I'm seeing around, and I know this isn't Adams, is this?
So Adams was actually, he was the controller of works. So he wasn't the amazing architect that we all know about now.
Right.
So then he was the controller of works. So he was just put in charge of, and there's a room we can show you, which was his first room he'd ever done. And apparently it's not in proportion. It's absolutely exquisite.
Right.
But, that was considered not his finest piece of work because it was his first room ever.
Yeah.
So Adams sort of tinkered around, and we've got other rooms that we can show you with amazing Adams ceilings. But actually, yes. So Adams was just a worker here. He wasn't the big architect.
That he soon became,
Yeah.
that we know him for. How
Yeah.
extraordinary. No, this is beautiful.
And then this room would have had damask on the walls in the olden days.
Okay.
So even though it hasn't got the fanciest ceiling in the world, it would have had much more fancy
Right.
walls compared to some of the ceilings in the
Yes,
rest of the
yes.
house.
How wonderful. It's beautiful. All right, next room. We're off to.
Let's
go
go
to the
to
state
the dining room.
I love it.
This is the state dining room, and it's so ornate, it's so beautiful, and it's all original.
Okay, history behind who did this.
So this is all Adams inspired. It was done in the 1700s. It's still exactly as it was. So although we had the fire in the
Yes.
70s when they had to drill holes in the ceilings to let the water through, amazingly, it's exactly as it was. So Torquil's parents sent people down to London to be trained to actually learn how to touch up all the bits that were damaged.
That were damaged.
Yeah. And so the local paint company, so the local decorators
the local painter.
were sent down, and they are an amazing family. They're still working now with the estate.
I mean, it's unbelievable. And I love the colors because they're very soft, they're warm.
And you've got the Armoury Hall, which is so masculine and
Yes.
big and bold,
Yeah.
and then you've got this, which is really exquisite,
Yeah.
French, feminine.
Yes, exactly.
Is it so pretty? And then the mirrors, if you look at the mirrors either side, they are put exactly there on purpose. So the chandelier, everything, the light just goes on and on and on and on.
That is wonderful. This is, and also the light that comes through here. You've got these big Georgian windows.
Do you think an original castle would have had tiny little slit windows? You get to the Georgians, the light's phenomenal, isn't it?
That's what makes this castle, I think, so unique. Is that it's this castle, and you think of battlements and arrow slit windows,
Yeah.
but yet you come here and you've got these wonderful sash windows.
Because it's not really a castle; it's actually a palace.
Yeah, it is.
So you got all the weapons, but the
Yeah.
windows and the design of it are post us fighting.
It's very feminine
It's
and
exquisite,
delicate.
yeah.
It's lovely. Never get enough of it. again.
Again, exquisite, isn't it? This is all Adam's, and then the tapestries and the chairs, everything were bought to be put in those places. And then he was very cross because his lovely sofas were too high for the tapestries. So he was very cross at the time that they blocked. I mean,
that they had it measured.
Absolutely amazing, but they had
They're amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So when he was designing this room, he knew he wanted to put.
This was for tapestries.
This is tapestries.
And this is where you'd come and withdraw, and you'd play cards, and you'd play the harp, and you'd relax, and you'd had a busy day. I don't know, shooting pigeons or walking in the shrubbery or whatever you were doing in those days, isn't it? Going to church, and then you'd come in here and you'd relax.
Okay, can we just talk about the tapestries? Because they are in such good condition, but the colors are still so vivid. I mean, it's brilliant.
There was a lot of work done on them after the fire in 1975.
Yeah.
So they were badly damaged. They got wet, they got heavy, and they ripped.
Right.
So a lot of work was done on them then, and we haven't really done too much on them since.
Which I think has been a plus. I think over the years, there's never actually been enough money or enough appetite to actually help them. And as a result, I think they're probably in better nick than some people who've, now every time, every 20 years, 50 years, they realise that actually what we did in the past was wrong.
Right, well, exactly.
And so actually,
And then you got to repair it and take it back again to where it was.
So again, do you use this room?
Not so much this one.
Right.
It's actually on the sort of the colder side of the house.
Right.
I suppose from the 30s, 40s, 50s, it was actually used as a dining room.
Was it? This is fantastic. I mean, this could be my favorite room. I don't know. I guess because it's a withdrawing room, and you can just you can just visualize people just enjoying this, and
reading, listening to music, doing their tapestry.
Early Georgians, we would have been in big dresses. As we moved through the Georgians, we'd been more like Jane Austen dresses.
Yes.
We'd come in here, we'd chat, we'd discuss which handsome fellow was living next door, wouldn't we?
Yeah, exactly. Now, what has caught my eye is this unbelievably beautiful, fairy-like picture right here. Who is this beautiful woman?
So that's Lady Charlotte Campbell.
Okay.
We also have a Lady Charlotte Campbell.
Yes.
Who is named after this Lady Charlotte.
Your daughter.
Our daughter, exactly. Who is 15 and would never, ever be seen dead in a dress like that. So this Lady Charlotte was, she was the 5th Duke's daughter.
Okay.
So Torquil's number 13. She's the 5th Duke's daughter.
Okay.
And she was very well known for writing diaries. She would write exactly what was going on at court. She'd write all the scandal and the drama. She was like the Lady Whistledown of her day.
No.
Yes, so she was very well known.
So she's the Lady Whistledown. There you go.
There we are. And she was a lady in waiting to Caroline of Brunswick, so King George IV's wife.
Okay.
When she was Princess of Wales.
When she was Princess of Wales, she was Lady in Waiting. So she was right up in there with the royals.
Absolutely,
then,
she was right in there with court, which is why she could write, I think, all these stories that were going on at court. And exactly, she was right in there knowing what was going on. And she's painted here as Aurora, so very pretty, flowers.
Yeah.
Goddess.
No, I mean, it's a great picture. When we decided to have children, we had one name for a boy and we had one name for a girl.
Right.
Archie was the first one, then no girl the second time, and the third time we still had a Charlotte left.
Right. So it all worked
It
out.
all worked out.
Yeah. For 2 centuries, Inverara Castle was a modest laird's tower. It wasn't until the 18th century that the breathtaking palace we see today was built. I couldn't wait to return to the archives to find out more about the origins of the castle.
So in the middle of the 15th century,
Yes.
they came down to Loch Fyne and they built a tower house. It was a traditional defensive tower house, and it needed to be a defensive building. And it was attacked many times in its history.
Right.
Well, at least, and the castle was still there in the 1700s, but it wasn't in a very good condition.
Okay.
And they actually asked William Douglas, who is a mason here, and they asked him to do a report on the condition. And he sort of went and sort of touched bits of mortar and they were falling out of the stones. And he said,
And
It's
no
not
one
a
was
lot you can do.
inhabiting it? Were they,
It was actually, it wasn't the Duke who was living there. He'd become a Duke in the early 1700s, and they had built another building to stay in when they were up in Ferrero.
Okay.
And they were using the castle for pensioners.
Oh my goodness.
So people who didn't pay any rent, so they couldn't really complain about the conditions they were living in.
Right.
But, you know, it was still giving them a roof over their heads.
Exactly, and they were in a castle.
Yes. And the Duke wasn't living there at the time. But it couldn't be repaired, or they decided it couldn't be repaired. So they decided to build a new home. And of course, he'd only been made a Duke in 1701, was the first Duke. He had then died quite early, but the second Duke wanted to celebrate his elevated status.
Okay.
And you don't do that by building a little stone tower
No.
house. You do that by building a nice big palatial house.
Exactly. Exactly. Of course must. So he was, the second Duke was really the one that said, right, everybody, I need to sort of let everybody know who I am. I'm the head of the Clan Campbell. I'm the second Duke of Argyll. I'm a Duke. I need to build something big.
Yep. And so he was looking for ideas. So he visited other people's houses, and he got Vanbrugh on board to do him some designs.
So at this time, let's go back. So John Vanbrugh, of course, was known for Castle Howard and Blenheim Palace, and he was the go-to guy.
Yes.
So of course, this Duke is saying, I'm going to go to the best of the best. Right.
But he didn't get as far as doing anything about it. So
Okay.
he spoke to Vanbrugh, and I'm not sure who else he spoke to, if anyone, but he didn't actually build anything. So it wasn't until his brother, the third Duke, succeeded that building actually started. And the third Duke had the foundation stone laid in 1746, which of course was the year of the Battle of Culloden as well.
Oh my goodness.
So whilst half of Scotland's having a battle somewhere, in Inverero we're building foundations and putting foundation stones in. So
Okay.
what we have is letters and instructions for building the castle, and these were between 1744 to 1747.
This is around the third Duke of Argyll's time. He's
Yes.
laid the foundation.
So it actually starts with William Douglas's report concerning the castle. So that's the old castle.
Okay.
And his report is basically saying, you know, there's not a lot you can do with this other than flatten it and build a new house.
Yeah, you can see, he says, Castle of Inverary, I have narrowly viewed the, it looks like inside and outside, and find there are few parts of it sufficient.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep.
And then he gives his reasoning why.
Indeed.
Wow.
So the instructions were given to the Chamberlain, and it's about, you know, who you need to employ and what you need to do and how to build.
Oh my
Lots of diagrams.
goodness.
I just find it amazing how they managed to work all the detail out, you know, exactly what the measurements needed to
Yep.
be and how they needed the stone cut and where they were going to put the supports in and things. I mean, it's unbelievable really that how much they knew and how much they could work out.
It's so true. And I'm just reading here, it says, I approve of your method in preparing the angles of the door, looks like
Door jambs. So that's just sort of where the door fits.
but it's
Yeah.
really detailed.
It is. It's hugely detailed. So this is this is the kitchen, the old kitchen, and where, you know, where everything's going to be.
Yes, yes. This is fantastic. Oh, and lovely,
Drawings of
lovely
windows.
drawings there.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely lovely drawings. I could spend all day reading this. Wow. This is the east half of the south front of Inverara Castle. Incredible. And then that's the north half of the east front of Inverara Castle. Wonderful. And then we've got the fireplaces.
Yeah. So these were original plans for Dunniquay, you know, the
Yes,
watchtown
yes.
top of the hill. And here we have for the
bridge.
bridges. So there's
Look at
various
this.
bridges. So
Wow. Wonderful. I mean, they're so detailed and beautiful,
they are
these
just
drawings. How long did it take from the time that the foundations were laid until the castle was really complete?
that's tricky.
Right.
So they laid the foundation stone in 1746.
Okay.
And building carried on. But when the third Duke died, which was 1761,
Okay.
and the fourth Duke took over, he wasn't particularly interested in the building project. So essentially nothing very much happened for sort of 8 or 9 years.
Right.
And then when his son became Duke,
The 5th Duke then,
yeah,
yes.
then it all started up again, because
Right.
he had, you know, he had his young bride Elizabeth Gunning, and they wanted to have a palace to live in and to invite people to.
Okay.
They had a housewarming party in something like 1783 or something.
Right, okay.
But it wasn't actually finished at that point, so they carried on, because these designs for decorating, they're from 1780.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
you know,
So you
they've had a shell of a castle,
yes.
but they haven't had the decoration inside it. And this is them saying, right, okay, we need to actually make it look fabulous inside.
Right.
And these are some of the designs for that.
Oh my goodness.
So these designs are both by Robert Milne, and they're both from 1780.
Okay.
And this is for, you know, this shows you the structure of the dining room.
Right. Okay. Yes.
And this is, two possible designs actually for the ceiling. You know, he's put one design at one end and one design at the other end, just to give you plenty of choice, and you can have a look and see what you want.
How brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. And then, of course, they didn't go for either of these.
No, they went for something else.
Yeah. How fantastic that these all survived and we're now able to view them today. So important.
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Wonderful.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. The gardens at Inverara have developed with each generation, but it was during the 1870s that they were laid out in the basic form that remains today. Eleanor and I went for a stroll to the Rose Garden. This is what I love about historic houses, because there's usually, I mean, almost 100% of the time, a garden.
And this is the year for roses, because the smell is unbelievable, isn't it? This
It's
is
unbelievable.
the year, I think, because it's been wet, sunny. We've had everything this year. Snow when we didn't need it, isn't it? Actually, I think whatever it is, it's been good for roses. So it's unbelievable.
Look at them. They're so happy. And they're not even full bloom. So when are they full bloom? Because you can see they're
Well, let me
jutting
introduce
out.
you to Glyn, who's our head gardener.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hi, I'm
Glyn can tell you
Julie.
everything.
Nice to meet you.
Hi,
Nice to meet
so
you.
nice to meet you. And you're deadheading right now, is that right?
That's right. First time this year I'm going around with the deadheaders. Yeah.
First time. Wow. And wow, the scent here is lovely. So tell me, Glyn, a little bit just about the roses here.
Well, they're relatively new planting. These were replanted approximately 12 years ago,
Okay.
and so they're still quite young, and we're really just trying to get them established and to flower at the very best.
Right.
All the varieties are what you would sort of vaguely call modern shrub roses. We just chose varieties which are most suitable to the environment here in Argyll. Some of the varieties we chose originally didn't do particularly well,
Okay.
and we sort of weeded those out and replaced with tougher, more robust
Hardier
varieties.
ones, right.
Yeah.
Give me a little bit of an overview, though, about the history of the gardens here at Inverara.
There's always been a garden around the castle, but
Right.
the original garden was just basically a blank canvas.
Okay.
And it was really in Victorian times when it was laid out in the form now. The beds we see behind us, the flag borders,
Yes.
are very old in terms of the shape.
Okay.
Historically, they're very old, and the rose garden also has been here for some considerable time.
Right.
So it's sort of the Victorian plant hunters, and the Victorian era was when the garden really moved forward into the form it is now.
And then if you can look from above, so the flag gardens Glenn was talking about, in
Right.
fact, you look and they're like a saltire, like a Scottish flag. So that's, so you can walk, you can actually see if you go from above, that's
yeah.
they're designed to look like two
Okay.
saltires.
Yeah.
And then last summer we had a drought, didn't we, Glyn? So the lawns actually close to the castle, we got a ghost garden appeared. So if you sent up a drone, you could see actually where all sorts of the garden had been laid out in really fancy like parterres and things, hadn't it? But
You can actually still see it if
Can you
you
see the
look
parterre?
very, very carefully, because the grass has never really recovered fully. There's 16 acres of garden. This top bit, there's 2 acres. So this is sort of formal garden, rose garden, formal lawns, and the beds just behind us here. And then sort of further down that way is wildflower meadow.
Okay.
And beyond that is wilder woodland, if you
Right,
like,
wild,
which is
yeah.
less manicured, but still takes a little bit of work.
Yeah, no,
at
of
certain
course,
times.
of course.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, Glenn, what is your favorite part of the garden? It's always a tough question. I have to ask it.
the bit where you go home and have a cup of
That's
tea.
right, yeah. The woodland garden down the bottom there,
Right.
because when I first came here, basically it wasn't there. It was just a sort of a big mass of laurel.
Right.
And we cleared that and we created a bit of a woodland garden with nice bark chip paths in, and it's got a nice sort of cool feel to it. Lots of hydrangeas in there.
Yeah, lovely.
So yeah, that's my baby, if you see what I
Oh
mean.
yeah. Fantastic. And are you excited that you've been nominated, shortlisted for the Historic Houses
Yes,
Garden of the Year?
Yeah, we're up against some really tough opposition, but
And we're up against gardens with lots and lots of people working on them, haven't
absolutely,
they?
Yeah.
and different climate as well. You know, the climate's a big thing for us here. You know, it's quite wet, so you know we have another battle to fight as well as the normal battles.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so I have one last question for you. You've been here for how many years?
nearly 10.
10 years. Describe to me just maybe a moment here that really stands out for you.
I think it happens every year. It's when the first rhododendrons flower, because then you think, right, we're away, sort of thing.
Right.
It's been sort of dormant and kind of dark and dreary. And when the first rhododendron comes, you think, we're away.
Right.
And it's just...
And this year, I've
flicks
never
us-
seen them so good.
No, it was
They were
amazing.
absolutely
year.
amazing. So my mother-in-law sadly died earlier in the year, and it was her memorial weekend that the rhododendrons were. I mean, it was a send-off for her, wasn't it? We
Absolutely.
just sent her off in this blaze of amazing pinks, wasn't it? It really, it was so special, and I've never seen them look so amazing.
That is incredible.
It's been a great year for flowering in general, but the rhodies were
right.
spectacular this
Yeah,
time.
spectacular. Well, thank you, Glyn, for taking time out of your day,
No problem.
because I know that is a lot of work right
It
there in
is,
that
yeah.
bucket. But a
And
lovely.
there's another 8 buckets back there, probably.
That's right, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I will leave you to it, but what a treat.
Thank you
Just
very
to
much.
smell it and to hear about it and to see it all.
Thanks very
So
much.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. A visit to the castle and gardens wouldn't be complete without a little peek in the shop. And here at Inverara, Eleanor personally sources and commissions the most wonderful Scottish products. I'm so
Welcome
excited.
to my shop. I'm the buyer, I choose everything, and I do lots of research. Things for every market.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I mean, it is things for every market, but also, I guess, as an American coming here, I want to take away a bit of Scotland. You know,
I can fill your suitcase happily for you.
okay, tell me a little bit about the shop and your curating of it and kind of what are the big sellers?
So my market is mainly international visitors. A lot of it has to be suitcase size,
Right.
and it's got to be things preferably made in Scotland or made for the castle.
Okay.
So my new tea towel.
Look at this.
So I said to the artist, I want
Okay.
the castle, I want Donequake, which is up at the top of the hill where the
Yeah.
viewpoint is, Highland cows, and then she puts together all the things that I think are exactly what makes this castle this castle. Wow. Which is great.
And she designed, she did the...
She does all the pictures, and then she says to me, do you like this? And I go, oh, I don't like this, I like that. And then we come to a final agreement, and then we've now turned it into tea towels and aprons and coasters.
I mean, it's
and
beautiful.
it's great, isn't
Great.
it? And it sells really well.
It is great. That could be one of the best tea towels I've ever seen. Look, you've got your coat of arms there. You've got the tartan in there. You've got the red squirrels.
You know, there's little teddies in Campbell tartan,
And Campbell tartan.
authentic teddies.
Oh my gosh. I do kind of want to look at your
Christmas decorations, okay. I've got bagpipers, I've got
Yeah.
some I have specially made for the castle, and then all these squishy ones are made by a charity where the money goes to the women in Asia. They're in Thailand and Sri Lanka and places. So these are doing the world good at the same time,
Good. And I'm just going to let you know,
and the same as those ones.
I have this one on the Christmas, I hang this one, I have this one, I hang this one on the Mapperton Christmas tree every year.
And every Christmas you think of just nothing but us.
I do, I only think of how I love Scotland and Inverara Castle.
And then these I have specially made too. So come through to the tartan turret, it's called. Lots of things you can buy for tartan.
Okay, and
in
this is
Campbell
obviously
tartan. So this is
Campbell-
ancient Campbell, which is the one the Duke wears.
So I've seen this before. Can you just explain to me? There's ancient and then there's a modern. Is that what it is? Or
No,
what?
so we just wear ancient,
Ancient.
Campbell. So there's loads of rumours
Right.
and myths and stories, and there's all sorts of, actually there's a lot of nonsense I think that actually goes with a lot of tartan stuff.
Okay.
But this family, if you want to wear the correct tartan that the Duke wears, who's the clan chief, this is what you wear, ancient
Gotcha.
Campbell.
Okay.
And we have it in 2 different So you can see here, so it's in 2 different shades, but there's that one's not modern and one's not ancient. They're both the same, just different shades.
Just different shades.
You do have different Campbell tartans if you come from different strands of it. So you can be a Campbell of Cawdor, or a Campbell of Breadalbane or whatever. So if you look at the Clan Campbell tree, so Torquil is the major strand of Campbells, and then you've got other septs that come off it, so other strands. So you could be a Campbell of Cawdor, which would wear this, but it would have I think it's a red stripe in it as well.
Okay.
Which means that they are Campbells, but they're just from a different bit of it.
I see what you're saying. So they're from a different bit of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's Cawdor Castle, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. So which is the other side of Scotland from
Right. Okay, perfect. So overall, would you say, what is your best seller?
So tea towels are a great seller. So we've got about 10 different tea towels over there.
Oh my gosh.
So my middle son, as one of his design projects, had to make the tea towel holder for his exam.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Yes, so you can now flick through and see the different details. The Christmas decoration holder was made by Torquil and Rory.
That's so brilliant.
I think it's all hands on here.
It's so brilliant.
Things that Torquil has signed obviously do really, really well.
Right. This is so genius. You have done an outstanding job.
You know, is it Scotland makes beautiful things,
Yeah,
so I am quite lucky. So, you know, it's all Scottish companies. And I've got a Campbell market too.
Yeah, you do. You've got 14 million Campbells.
14 million
don't
Campbells,
you?
yeah.
I mean, well done. I might come back and get that hat. I'm definitely going to get a signed guidebook.
Get him to sign something.
Yeah, some whiskey. You know, the typical things that the Americans and the international market want to pick up.
Yes.
It's not just us Americans who adore Scotland. The British royal family have long held a love for this country. Queen Victoria stayed at Inverara Castle in 1875. Oh my goodness. Now this is Scotland to me. I just feel like I'm in the wild.
This is the Miller's Linn, it's called, and this is where we come and have picnics. But Queen Victoria also was known to come here, and you can have a picnic and you can look out and have a view. You can go fishing.
Right, so we know that Queen Victoria came here.
We know, absolutely.
Oh my gosh. All right, so if I look at kind of the family line, we've got Queen Victoria's daughter, Princess Louise, marries the 9th Duke of Argyll.
Yes, he's the Marquis of Lorne.
Children, did they have children?
No children. So nobody, I mean, there's lots of speculation, but she had a really bad sledging accident, and they wonder if then maybe, you know, that's why she never had children. But anyway, they never had children. And so it then went sideways. So it went to Duke Neil.
Yep.
And Duke Neil's father was Archie, and Archie was the 9th Duke's brother.
Okay.
So it then went sideways by just a little bit sideways to them, to the 9th Duke, and then they didn't have children, so it went a little bit sideways to Duke Neil.
Yes.
And he didn't have children either, so then it went a little bit sideways again to Ian.
Yes.
Who was Big Ian, Torquil's grandfather.
Yes, correct me if I'm wrong, is all of a sudden they don't have children, so you need to find
Exactly.
a male heir.
And in this family, it's a male.
And when tourists come here, are they also, of course they're interested in the castle itself and the history around it, but are they also interested in that connection with the royal family?
Yes, absolutely.
It must be one of the big draws.
Yeah, and they're, I think, almost disappointed that we're not royal. You know, we're so close, but just not.
Wow.
But I think the royal family is a fascination, isn't it?
It is a fascination, and it's...
And even if you're not pro-monarchy, isn't it? The fact that, you know, we've got this history in Britain, isn't it? We're very lucky. It goes back as far as anyone can remember.
How fantastic. I mean, it's just wonderful to be here knowing that Queen Victoria was here and Princess Louise and enjoyed this
and now
wonderful...
it's my lot, all scrabbling around having a picnic.
Exactly. What a wonderful, spectacular slice of Scotland. As we headed back to the castle, I couldn't wait to hear more about Queen Victoria and Princess Louise's time at Inverara. Queen Victoria stayed at Inverara Castle in 1875. Her daughter, Princess Louise, had married the future 9th Duke of Argyll in 1871. And to mark the visit, a new entrance to the castle was constructed. Now, when I first arrived here, I thought, what is this wonderful structure?
It's called Paddington Station. So Matthew Digby worked with Isambard, Kingdom Brunel on
Okay.
Paddington Station, which is why we are
Okay.
called Paddington Station. Queen Victoria could arrive in her carriage, step out and not get wet. And now it's the perfect entrance for tourists and visitors because, again, you're not going to get wet.
And that is incredible. All right, should we walk through?
Yes.
All right.
Come in.
Great, 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 great. Fantastic. Yeah, look it, I'm dry.
It's amazing.
Princess Louise was the 6th child of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert. It wasn't long after her marriage in 1871 that her husband, the future 9th Duke of Argyll, was made Governor General of Canada. Lake Louise and the province of Alberta were named after Louise. Throughout her life, the princess contributed to the women's rights movement and was passionate about the arts. Since a girl, she was a gifted artist, which is still in evidence at Inverare today.
And this is Princess Louise's private apartment.
Wow, I know, and it's private as
It's
well.
private.
Isn't
It's
it?
private. So this is not part of the general tour for the visitor.
Private.
Yeah.
So this is where
This is where Princess Louise had her private apartment. So Princess Louise painted these.
No. So she, wow.
Yeah, and she was an amazing artist. This is all around Argyll.
Wow. I mean, she was very talented.
She was amazing. And nice just to have on your, as you come into your bedroom.
Incredible. Incredible. All right, so I'm walking into one of the private apartments.
So this was, again, part of Princess Louise's apartment, but this is now called the Brown Library.
Okay.
But this was all done for Princess Louise. So if you look up at the balcony, you can see we've got coronets. We've got Duke's coronet.
Yep.
So a Duke has strawberry leaves on his
Yes.
coronet. And then the royal family have got fleur-de-lis on theirs. So you can see it's done for Princess Louise and the Marquis of Lawn.
Goodness.
And then you've got the galleys of Lawn, which are on our coat of arms. And you've got the Jarrony of 8, pretty much all Campbells have that. And then you've got cross days because we're Dukes of Argyll in England and Scotland, Britain and Scotland, basically. So this now is where Torquil will sit and do some work. If you're the clan chief, well, you get 3 eagle feathers in your bonnet.
I wonder if, these apartments, because they're quite cozy, you're in this big castle and it's wide open, it's got a 21-meter, armory hall, and you kind of want to retreat to somewhere quite cozy. And I wonder if
Well, I think you'd put the fire on, wouldn't you? You'd
Yeah,
have a
and
coal
this
fire in those
it's,
days.
It's
and
cozy
it'd
in here.
Cozy, it'd be nice.
Okay, so this is one of our apartments and the other one.
And then come to the next door one. And this is the Green Library. So again, still part of Princess Louise's apartments.
Beautiful.
Isn't it?
Beautiful, absolutely. Can I walk on this?
You can walk on anything you like.
Okay,
And then to remind you where you are, you see everywhere you go, you've got double A's, you've got coronets, you've got galleys of lawn. Even the fireplace has got double A's on it. Just to remind you, everywhere you go, to remind you you're in an Argyll house.
The wallpaper here, it's silk wallpaper, is
Yes,
that what it is?
it's ancient.
It's
Touch it. I
ancient.
mean, you're very welcome to it. It's silk and velvet. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
it is. Wow. So what do we think that this room, when Princess Louise was here?
Well, it could have been
was
her bedroom,
But
couldn't
that's
it?
what I was thinking. Because it's sort of decorated in that taste that you could see that this would be a lovely bedroom. And the views that she would have had. I mean, it's a perfect spot.
So it's looking over the formal gardens. It's amazing,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Wonderful. And so this has just caught my eye.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's the most beautiful invitation you've ever seen.
Ever.
Isn't it?
It's so beautiful. So Torquil went.
Torquil went to the coronation of the king.
No.
I know.
That
lucky,
is
lucky him.
Lucky him. Wow. And was it just magical?
I had a barbecue for a whole lot of teenagers, and he went to that, and he came back. I mean, of course, it was unbelievable, wasn't
Yeah.
it? The pageantry, the magnificence, the fact the monarch had moved on with the times, but actually it was still traditional.
Right.
It was phenomenal.
It's incredible. And this invitation shows that the monarch has sort of evolved with the times, because look at it.
And the flowers,
What
and the
he's
strawberries and-
passionate
yeah,
about,
yeah.
the environment.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
But also
to see
in the
this.
service were all the different faiths. I mean, they'd made a real
Yep.
effort, hadn't they? Actually, it was
Gosh.
it was for the world, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant. Okay, thank you. Wow.
Not at all.
Fantastic.
The coronation service may have been modernized, but is still rooted in tradition, and it's fascinating to look back.
Coronation that just happened in 2023. Which robe was worn?
Well, actually, none of them were. So Torquil gets to go, lucky him, to the coronation, but actually it was just morning dress.
That's right.
So the coronation robes, to be honest, these have been in the showcase now for a while, so I imagine they're probably not in the finest nick-up clothes, are they?
Yes.
But this is a coronation robe worn by Princess Louise for Edward the VII.
Wow.
And she must have been, I mean, her waist must have been absolutely tiny.
Oh, but then it says it was worn by Princess Marina of Kent at the coronation of Queen Elizabeth in 1953.
So lucky she fitted into it, wasn't it?
That's
But it's
exactly
absolutely exquisite. It's all hand embroidered. It's beautiful.
Beautiful. I mean, it's so beautiful, unbelievable.
And her coronet,
Look at that, yes.
you can see is different from a man's coronet. So she has a little coronet, and again, it's got the fleur-de-lis on that we talked about in the Brown Library, and then would have been on the top of your head.
Yes, exactly. Well, that looks like in fantastic condition.
And then here we have my wedding dress.
Oh my gosh!
Which was last one in 2002,
beautiful.
so a little more recently. So it was a coat dress for the church service bit.
Yes.
And then the party in the evening, it's a party dress underneath.
It's beautiful.
And then my brother punted us down the River Thames as our going away. So we got into the River Thames, and actually I had little white trainers underneath the dress by then, because I thought otherwise I'm going to tip straight the other side of the punt and into the water.
Thames, no.
And no one would know, because it was exquisite.
Oh, it's so beautiful, and it's lovely that people can see as well.
It's amazing.
It's amazing,
So lucky.
amazing.
And here are coronation robes.
Gotcha.
That my husband did not wear. But again, you
Right.
can see, so Duke's coronet's got strawberry leaves around the top. So Torquil's the master of the royal household in Scotland, so that baton in there, that's what Torquil carries when he's being master of the royal household in Scotland.
Okay.
So for the General Assembly, he carries that at the beginning of the procession. Wow. And there is a picture of the 9th Duke of Argyll carrying his master of the royal household. So in the olden days, you would have worn your coronation robes, and you would have carried your master of the royal household baton.
Fantastic to see this.
The connections with the royal family and the Argyll service to the crown is all around the castle and throughout history.
I always love looking at who is who. And
And here we have
here's
Queen Charlotte, as in Queen Charlotte, who's married to George III.
Yes. As in Queen Charlotte from Bridgerton.
Exactly. And the Duchess of Argyll was her mistress of the robes, so she was like the most important lady in waiting. So she would have looked. It was a great honour to be the mistress of the robes.
It's a fantastic picture of her.
It's amazing, isn't it? So it's a after Zophony. So Zophony, you can see the real one actually, I think, in the Royal Collection.
Okay.
I mean, like the original one, and then this was a copy for your. And then here you can see there's like a little bracelet which has got King George on.
It's got King George on it.
And this is the Victoria Room. So this is all things Queen Victoria and Princess Louise.
Fantastic. Yeah. Wow. It's beautiful. Really? Okay, where do we start?
So there is the desk that Queen Victoria gave her daughter as a wedding present.
It's beautiful.
And this is Princess Louise, yes. So remember, she only ever had her portrait painted with one ear showing, so apparently she'd damaged one in the sledging accident when they lived in Canada.
She is a real beauty. I mean, I think she's very pretty.
And then we have here their wedding day.
This is exquisite.
And Disraeli was the Prime Minister, so apparently that's him looking back.
It's him looking back. Look at you. I mean, you just want to stare at this all day.
And little sweet people in kilts.
Yeah.
And then here we have a piece of the wedding cake from Princess Louise's wedding.
Really? What, did they box them up? So do you think there's really cake in there?
I presume so. I don't think it's going to be edible, but I mean, I'm not going to
try.
Oh
my gosh. It's pretty cool. Okay. Wow.
And then here we've got the state procession
No.
from the Queen's coronation. So this, I think, would have been hung on a lamppost, as far as I can work out. And then you would know, so you're standing in the crowd cheering and waving, and then you can work out who's in which one. So you've got the 12th carriage has got the Duke of Argyll in it. First carriage has got all sorts of exciting people in it, and then you've got the royal family, and you've got international royal family. You've got carriages with you know, kings of Hanover, kings of Prussia, Queen of Spain.
This is so cool.
Keen to see more of the precious items preserved from Princess Louise's wedding, I visited the archives.
So the first thing we have is her fan, which was what she carried on her wedding day. And it's a very, very beautiful fan.
Oh my goodness. Look at it. It's sort of mother of pearl, is that right?
I think so. I mean, I'm not an expert on
Yeah.
these things, but you know, it is very, very beautiful, quite fragile now, obviously.
Yeah, of
but,
course.
But I love all the designs on there as well. You know, it's not just on the fan
No.
itself. it's
And you
all
can
around the
see
edges.
there's all the fabric that's on there as well that's sort of outlining the fan itself. That is, so she had that on her wedding
Yeah,
day.
she carried that
She
with her.
carried that.
Yeah.
And then,
And this is the programme. So they had an evening entertainment at Windsor Castle. Absolutely. For Tuesday evening on the 21st of March, 1871. So they had various people, you know, must have had an orchestra playing the overture, and they had people singing.
they had the wedding march there. Look at
Yeah.
that. They had a solo. It's beautiful, though. I mean,
Isn't
it's a
it? Yeah.
beautiful invitation.
So 1871, 21st of March. This is the day of their wedding, and this is their scrapbook. So we all have
look at
this
it.
on our scrapbook,
Yes,
don't
we
we?
do.
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful
It
fabrics.
is really lovely. So this is just full of engravings. So they don't so much have photographs, they have engravings. And I guess some of these would have been published in a newspaper.
Right. And is that supposed to represent like her bouquet?
I'm not quite sure what all the little cherubs
yeah,
are
right.
about.
Yes. And there she
But
is.
here she is, getting ready for the big day, yes. Wow.
And there she is again. And again, had she had her sledging accident at this point?
No, that was later.
Okay, that was later.
Yeah. And this is her husband-to-be.
Wow. It's fantastic.
Like the sideburns.
Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely, lots of hair.
Definitely. And these were the bridesmaids.
And those are the bridesmaids.
Don't ask me to name them
No,
because
I
I can't
won't.
remember.
I won't.
That's good.
Wow. Absolutely stunning. And all the flowers in their hair and their bouquets. Lovely. Seems to be wearing all the same necklaces, earrings.
And then later on in the book, they've so they don't just have a list of gifts that were given to them. They've sort of recorded them. So
By having engravings done.
yeah, by having engravings done of things. So yeah, so we obviously have a very special book and a casket. I'm not quite sure what that one is.
Yeah, these little miniature caskets were quite popular during the Victorian period, weren't they?
They were, yes. And then obviously jewellery.
And this is, I think, I just spotted, I think that's similar to the necklace that the bridesmaids were actually wearing, interestingly enough.
So this one is from the people of Tyree, 1870.
Oh, right.
So presumably the estate workers would have clubbed together to, you know, to
These
purchase
jewels.
things.
L for Louise, there we go. Oh, wonderful. So she was clearly given some absolutely astonishing gifts. I mean, look there's a tiara there, just diamonds, some type of jewels. We're not sure if those are rubies or emeralds or sapphires, or diamonds.
So downside of the engraving, really, it's not coloured.
Yeah.
So.
Incredible.
And this, I presume, is part of lace that was involved in the wedding in some way. But,
Incredible. Absolutely exquisite.
I find actually just the way that they do the engravings is just fascinating. You know, so all the work that goes into creating a drawing like that.
Look at.
So this must be the sort of I don't know if this was the evening event, but you know, you've got, you know, the
Yes, look at this. It's fantastic.
decorative table and the objects on it.
You can see some of the bridesmaids.
And
there's Windsor.
There's Windsor Castle. Yeah.
How wonderful.
So,
Yeah.
presumably they had a party, you know, all the people would have had a party in the grounds as well to celebrate what was going on.
Yeah.
And then they went off on honeymoon, and forgive me, but I can't remember the name of the house they went to. But this is the house where they stayed for their honeymoon afterwards, so they went off to there in the evening.
Right.
But they had these triumphal arches. So do you remember when Queen Victoria's Diamond Jubilee was? There were arches built all over the country.
Yes.
And they obviously, you know, it was obviously a fashion thing that they did. So they did it for the wedding as well. This is the matrimonial contract.
Oh, wow.
Agreed.
And look at, there's her
Between
signature,
them.
Louise. There's Argyle's signature.
Yeah, and you have to sign on every page naturally.
Okay.
So we've also, but it's not just them. So you've got Louise and the Duke of Argyle, and Lorne, and of course
Queen Victoria
as well. Had to sign.
So you had, how incredible. So that's her husband, Lorne, because he's the Marquis of Lorne then.
Yes.
That's her father-in-law, who
Yes.
would have been the 8th Duke of Argyle. And then, of course, that's her mother, Queen Victoria.
Absolutely.
This is fantastic to have this.
And if we go to the end, we have their little seals as well.
So is this just a contract that's sort of how things get divided out? Or?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to organise things really carefully in a marriage. I mean, everybody had to, but for, you know, a member of the royal family to get married, it's all got to be specified. You've got to know what's going to happen, you know, particularly when you're marrying someone who lives in a foreign
Yes.
country almost, you know. You've got to specify what's going to happen and what the church is going to be and what the children will do and all this sort of thing. So,
Right,
you know.
and then you've got the seals here.
Yeah, these little... So they're just
Interesting.
little
And
wax
where's
seals.
signed, sealed, and delivered Her Majesty Queen Victoria. And then you have people in the presence of, so you've got Windsor, you've got a Windsor Castle page there.
Yep, so these are all the witnesses to the signature to prove that it's really her.
That it's really her. This is fantastic. I mean, really brilliant that you have this.
Mm-hmm.
And then what is this then?
This is the Articles of Agreement. So
Okay.
again, it's another sort of part of a contract.
Oh,
So all the details of, you know, the settlements, so how much money Louise is going to get and how much money
land.
the Marquis is bringing into the marriage.
right.
So all of this stuff had to be really carefully worked out, and it all had to be recorded.
Right.
And just to make sure. So it's rather beautifully.
It is beautifully here. It is Her Majesty the Queen.
Yep. And this is vellum. This is not paper. So this is
Oh my gosh, yes.
yeah. It's still the days when
Yep.
I think they've
And
only
look
just
at how
stopped.
how well it's been preserved.
Well,
You know,
exactly,
it's
yeah.
just beautiful. All diamonds, looks like
Pearls.
pearls and other jewelry and other personal ornaments, prints, drawings, pictures,
Other like
effects.
Yeah.
And it says at the look like sale of the marriage shall belong to Princess Louise. So
It's her stuff.
it's her stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's just dictating that.
I love that though. You've got all the diamonds, the pearls, all the other jewels, the jewelry. It's incredible.
During her visit to Inverara in 1875, Queen Victoria explored the beautiful and wild Argyll landscape, sketching the lovely scenery. She wasn't the first royal to tread these hills. Mary, Queen of Scots, stalked here in the 16th century. I met up with Tom Kersop, head deer stalker on the estate, to retrace those royal steps up on Glen Shira.
Good to go?
You ready?
Yep.
Let's go find some deer, Tom. This is so exciting.
Yeah.
Do you get to do this every single day? Almost?
In season,
Majority?
in season I do.
Right.
Now you can understand why I've got such a nice job when you see the likes of this, can't you?
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
Magnificent, isn't it?
Just rugged and wild, and the topography is sensational. So it's correct that Queen Victoria roamed these beautiful hills while she was visiting her daughter, Princess Louise, who then became the 9th Duchess of Argyll. Is that correct?
That's right. So she came out here stalking.
What?
She came out stalking.
No.
Yeah.
Queen Victoria came out
Yeah,
stalking here.
well, so I believe, aye.
Oh my goodness.
So do you think she roamed about these hills, the same hills that we roaming about?
I know, that's I think what's so special and wonderful as we're driving through this fantastic landscape. I just think to myself, Queen Victoria, her daughter Princess Louise, they were here together roaming the hills and just absolutely loving the landscape. And you can see them, you know, why the royal family loves Scotland so much. And it
right,
really
yeah.
started with Queen Victoria because of
definitely.
her love of Scotland.
That's right, yeah. You've got all these Gaelic names up here. So you just think about Queen Victoria, going up Ben Sheehan,
Ben Sheehan,
Hill of the Fairies.
Hill of the Fairies.
Hill of the Fairies. That's the Gaelic translation for Ben Sheehan.
Oh my, is that where we're heading to?
Yeah, so we'll
The
go up
Hill
there.
of the Fairies.
Yeah.
Ben Sheehan.
Ben Sheehan.
Ben Sheehan.
Sheehan, that's it.
Did I say it the right way? Ben Sheehan. Give me a hard one.
Ben Sheehan.
Ben Sheehan. But
Oh.
what about the other? Give me a hard hill here.
Oh, well, behind us you've got Stuchacruin.
Stuchacruin?
Stuchacruin.
Stuchacruin?
Yep, and then you...
Was that good? Was that a good
That's a
Scottish
good one,
accent?
that.
Stuchacruin?
That's a good one. That's good. Very good. Look at that.
I mean, it's incredible. It's sensational.
That's
It's
that's
just
Lough Fyne.
astonishing.
Yeah. Lough-
Absolutely extraordinary landscape.
So you can understand why the royals wanted to come back.
Of course. I mean, just to think that Queen Victoria was literally here.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite remarkable. Oh, so your job, you just love it.
Absolutely.
You're outdoors every day, aren't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, it's a good job. It keeps you healthy. It keeps you
Yeah.
fit.
Yeah.
I take my dogs with me. The dogs they're a very important part of my job because it can be a very lonely job, this. So when you're out with the dogs
Yeah.
are a great companion.
Yes, of course.
So
Yeah.
I'm just going to have a wee look up here so we see some stags up here. So that's Stuchacruin away up there.
Stuchacruin.
Stuchacruin, right?
Yep.
And then to the left of that is Ben Buoy.
All right, Tom, that's quite a piece of equipment there.
Yeah, this is so we have a quick look with the binoculars to roughly find them, see where they are,
Right.
and then with the telescope, that's far more powerful, so we can identify species, sex, all that kind of thing. So we'll have a quick span with
From
it.
that far away, you can find out the sex and
you would
species
see,
of the deer.
You see the antlers on the
Oh
stags.
yeah, okay. Well, yeah. What do we think?
Right, so there's a couple that you can just see the
Really?
back of them just now.
Okay.
I'll put, so again, you've got this little river here in
Yeah,
the wee
got
black
it, got it,
triangle,
yeah,
just
yeah.
above that. So I'll put this on
Just
it for
above
you.
that, okay.
Oh, right, there it is. I don't. Right, so that's a female. Right, so if you look
Okay.
through that, you'll see them. You'll see the backs of them,
Okay, okay.
and you can see the left hand when you'll see its head. It doesn't have antlers.
Oh yeah, okay, wait, hold on. Oh wow,
You see it now?
yeah. Yeah, I see them to the right.
Right, there's a whole load of them up
Oh.
there. One, oh, there's a calf. Right, so there's.
Okay.
So if you look at the left-hand lot, there's
Yeah.
3 in a row.
Yep.
The middle one's got a tiny wee calf with her.
Okay, okay. Yep.
Tiny.
Got it. Tiny. There's so many there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's a herd of red deer hinds and calves.
Look at them. They're on the move. Look at them. They're running towards something. What are they running towards?
I don't know.
Look at, wow. What are they running towards?
They may be.
What is it?
They
What?
might be hearing us.
Wait, is somebody chasing them?
No, they might be
No.
hearing us.
What?
They might be hearing us.
Oh,
Believe it or not. Let me just move this a wee touch onto that bottom ones for you.
they might be hearing us. Okay. Tom, I could spend all day here. I mean, this is
Yeah.
this is your job, right?
Absolutely, and I could
So
spend all day
fun.
here too. It's very, very nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so lovely. It's so peaceful.
All that you can hear here just now is that waterfall down here and these birds singing.
Yeah,
It's beautiful, isn't it?
it's beautiful.
Views, there's Inverary.
It's beautiful. All right, what's our next stop?
Well, we'll carry on up and we'll get a spy further up and see what we can see. We'll maybe see some stags further up.
Okay.
This tends to be a hind kind of area, female area.
Okay.
Whereas up here, it's more stags. The stags tend to get higher at this time of year to get away from the midges. So the stags are regrowing their antlers just now.
Right.
And the midges drive them to frustration.
Yeah, I understand.
So they go away up high, but I know roughly where they'll
Okay,
be or
all right.
tend to be.
Let's go.
So we'll do that, we'll put this away
Great.
and then we'll head away back up there.
Let's go see some stags.
Right, come on, we'll see if we see some stags up here. This tends to be a staggy kind of hill.
Okay, fantastic. I've got my binoculars. I've got the telescope.
So if you're easier, see if you scan it with the binoculars first of all.
Okay.
Because you get a much wider field of view with them.
All right, I'm gonna scan.
And they're probably going to be quite high.
Yeah, where do you think they're gonna be?
They'll be high up to get away from flies and stuff.
One of them, wait, on one, but I don't know if it's a stag.
Oh, I see what you're seeing. Right on top of a rock?
Yeah, on top of a rock.
Yeah, that's deer.
Okay.
So let's have a wee look.
I couldn't tell, whoa. Is it? Okay, yeah, something's moving. They're right on top.
You see the one on the left quite clearly with his antlers.
Oh yeah, you can totally see him there.
You see them?
Yeah.
There's another 4 or 5.
Yeah, oh yeah, I can see their antlers now. Wow.
There's 4 in the skyline now.
Okay, wait, so I can see the big one with the antlers, and then it looks like there's a couple female, is that right?
No, that'll all be stags.
Wait, okay, wait, let me just get a look.
Oh
my gosh, it's so beautiful right now.
Yeah, look at that. That's a
Look
nice
at that.
picture,
That is literally like, you know,
that's the iconic,
out of Africa.
That's the iconic
Even though we're in Scotland.
Scotland scene that.
Right.
Majestic big red stags
That's right.
standing up there like that. Even though they're in velvet antlers just now. I mean, can you get nicer than that?
No. Gosh, look at them. See, you could just do this all day long and watch them.
Well,
all right,
I
fantastic. Yeah, I know. I know. All right, should we head
Yeah, let's go further up.
further up, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I brought a little bit of a picnic too.
Good, because I'm starving.
Okay,
Have you get plenty, have you?
You can have some of my hummus.
Good.
Oh my goodness. This is unbelievable.
Special, isn't it?
It's special. It's just, it's like right in the center of the glen.
Absolutely, yep. Right down there's Inverary, just past the first wee bit of water.
Yes.
That's Inverary.
And your dogs were just amazing.
Yeah.
Should we set up for the picnic?
Yeah, let's do it, yeah.
No wonder you wanted to bring me to this spot.
Yeah.
It's perfect. The perfect spot for a picnic. Oh my goodness.
That's all right, isn't it?
It's incredible.
Nice restaurant.
It's the best restaurant with the best views and I hope the best hummus.
Me too.
Oh, this is pure, pure magic.
Happy?
I'm happy.
Black sweet tea?
Do you know what? I'm gonna pass.
No problem.
Hummus?
I think I'll pass.
All right, should we just enjoy the view?
Absolutely,
With
yeah.
your black sweet tea and my hummus.
Absolutely.
There we go. Thank you so much, Tom.
Cheers.
Cheers, Tom.
Enjoy the day.
Back at the castle, I took a stroll with Torkel and Eleanor. What an amazing visit to Inverara.
So is this really kind of the private side of the gardens? This is your side?
This is about
Right.
the only place in the whole garden that no one can see us.
Great. And you need that.
Well, you know, it's a little bit hidden, you know, with the roadies on either side, so you can get away with it.
So you can get away. And look at that spectacular view. Wow. Well, and I look out there and I just think, oh, how many, you know, members of the royal family have crossed over that bridge. And are you still involved as a family, any part of sort of service with the royal family? You know, the modern royal family.
When I was young, I was one of the Queen's pages for a few years, when I was sort of 11, 12,
Right.
13, 14, I think.
Wow. And how did that came to be?
She invites you. Yeah,
She-
they're all her personal choices. And then Archie, our oldest son, he was a Queen's page as well.
Right.
And which is great family tradition. And then I've got a very old hereditary title, which is Master of the Royal Household in Scotland. And that goes back to the 1400s, 1460, I think, off the top of my head.
Oh, and what is involved in that?
Well,
Or was involved? maybe?
what was involved? It was basically looking after the household staff in Scotland. You were responsible for all of them. Today, it's a hereditary title, so it's
Right,
not like
yeah.
a job. But I have a baton which lives up in one of the showcases as my baton office. and you know, you are technically speaking on parade whenever the Queen or King is in Scotland. It's just carrying on all the, you know, the wonderful, you know, traditions that we all have, and it's trying to keep them alive as well.
And I agree with you on that. I think, of course, we've all had to modernize, and we do. I've seen so much of what the two of you have done. It might have been the film set for, you know, one of the episodes of Downton Abbey, or a few of the episodes. Christmas special. Thank you very much, of Downton Abbey. But, you know, we know that it's not all Downton Abbey at all anymore. I mean, we are very much hands-on, and that's wonderful, and we have to be. We understand that in order to preserve these for future generations. But I do agree that keeping these traditions alive is history itself.
And that's why we get tourists, I think, especially from the United States, because we do have this amazing traditions, and some of them are quite eccentric, actually. When you look at them now, we've got like royal herb strewers, haven't we, and swan counters, and you know, if you look at all the different hereditary positions across Britain there, I mean, some of them are pretty eccentric when you look at our lifestyle now today, but it makes Britain pretty special.
It does.
No, it's just like, you know, looking at Trooping of the Colour, and it's amazing. It's Britain at its best.
It's Britain's,
and you know, that's why, as you know, Eleanor says, a lot of people come to this country for the pageantry.
Yes.
Because we're just good at it.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful, and that's why I love coming to these places and touring, you know, different historic houses, because I love the history, the tradition, but also to meet the custodians who are putting their mark on here in so many different ways. And you both have been doing it for 23 years, and it shows, you know, what you've done.
And there's a few more years to do.
Yeah, I keep saying, you're so young.
It's
doing
never
it 23 years.
You know, it's our job at the end of the day to keep it alive, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And to pass it on.
And to pass it on, and that's where the stories will continue to be told. Because once it stops, the stories end.
Then it's very difficult to start it up
But
again.
it's what every day if I'm standing on a balcony and I look down and I see a tourist walk in, and then they come into the Armoury Hall and they look up, and everyone goes like, wow.
Yeah.
Because it's phenomenal. It's amazing, is it? And we get used to it, and we think, oh no, that's where the leak is, or that's where the paint's falling off, whatever. But they look up, it's
they see something completely different.
How many meters? 21 meters high. It's stunning. It's totally different from anyone else, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's got all that history all over the walls.
Stunning, and so much history.
And every time they look up,
and then you get it on a nice sunny day like today, and you think,
you just think, I want to move here. Actually, it doesn't rain
come live
here.
Next door, that'd be so nice.
It'd be great. We can do yoga together. Pilates. I'll teach you yoga. You teach me Pilates. Okay, it's a deal. Anyway, thank you both so much. It's been such a treat being here. And, you know, I'll come back again. Hopefully, it won't be a 5-year gap.
I hope not.
You know, I blame the pandemic for that.
Yeah,
so that's right. I'll come back again much sooner than that. Anyway, thank you both very much. And I'm just going to enjoy your view right here.
Yeah.
This is pretty
it is special. It is special.
I'm at the top of the bell tower here in Inverara, and I can see the castle off to the distance. Spent a wonderful 3 days filming at Inverara Castle and around the estate and into the archives. And of course, the archives are something that I just absolutely love. And I came here with 2 letters that I showed the current Duke and Duchess of Argyll. And they were, one of the letters was from Alberta Montague Sturgis, who eventually became the 9th Countess of Sandwich and my husband's great-grandmother. After her visit, Ian Campbell, the future 11th Duke, wrote to her and asked if she would consider donating to the last 2 bells. So there's a peal of 10 bells here, and they just needed 2 more to fundraise for, and she did. And so for me to be able to walk up the steps here at the top of the bell tower, see the bells, and of course they're marked 1920, knowing that Alberta help bring these bells to the bell tower here is for me really, really special, and a wonderful way for me to end my time at Inverara.